Have you ever looked at someone's watch and thought, how does this guy pick watches so well? Actually, he knows 5 simple rules that you don't know. And a person who knows these rules never buys the wrong watch, never loses money, never looks at their wrist and says, why did I buy this? After this video, you'll know these rules too, and choosing a watch will never be a problem for you again. I learned these rules years ago from a friend of mine who's a watch collector. One day after work, I wanted to visit my friend. He had a small watch shop, and the moment you walked in, you felt like you were in a world of watches. After we met, he picked up my hand, looked at my watch, and asked me a question. Do you follow any rule when you buy a watch? I was surprised and said, do you need to follow a rule to buy a watch? I just pick whatever I like and buy it. My friend said, that's true. Your own taste comes first, but there are 5 rules that every watch wearer should know, and he explained all of them to me. Today, in this video, I'm going to tell you those same 5 rules. Our first rule is called the size mistake. As the name suggests, this rule is about the size of the watch. Imagine, you see a watch on Instagram, Facebook, or some other platform. The design is beautiful, you like the colour, the price seems reasonable. You think about how good you'll look wearing it. You order it, it arrives, you put it on, you look in the mirror and something bothers you. Either the watch hangs off your wrist or it's so small it looks like you're wearing a kid's watch. The money is gone and the watch sits on the shelf. Why does this happen? Because your phone screen or the store display doesn't show your wrist. That watch is sitting on a mannequin or lying flat on a table. Mannequins are usually made for a large wrist, but you're buying it for your own wrist. On top of that, photos and videos always show the watch from the best angle. The lighting is right, the angle is chosen, everything looks perfect. The face of the watch, the dial, is usually between 38mm and 46mm. The bigger this number, the bigger the watch looks. The right watch size depends on the person's own wrist, because some people are thin, some are heavier, or some naturally have larger wrists. The most effective solution to this mistake is to go to the store and see it in person before buying. No photo, no video can give you the real feel on your wrist. A 30-minute trip to the store can determine whether you'll wear that watch for the next 2 to 3 years. I can almost hear you asking, but what if we buy online? I have a solution for that too. Just take a piece of paper or a tape measure and measure your wrist. When you go on any website, the size, colour and other details of the watch are usually listed underneath it. Look there to make the most accurate decision. Now let's move on to our second rule called the waiting game. And unlike the others, this rule doesn't require any special knowledge or experience from you. The only thing it requires is patience. Actually, when people hear this rule, many think, it's this simple? Yes, it's this simple. But few people actually do it, because when we all like something, we want to buy it immediately. This is human nature. Marketing is built entirely around this. When a watch first comes out or becomes trendy, demand in the market is very high. Everyone wants that watch, everyone wants it now. Sellers know this very well, and to squeeze maximum profit out of it, they artificially raise the price. Sometimes they even sell it at 50 to 60% above the manufacturer's own list price. You think this watch must be worth this much, and you buy it. But in reality, you're buying the trend, not the watch. How long should you wait? It actually varies from watch to watch. Some trends cool down in 3 months, others in 6 months, some take a year. But generally speaking, if you want to buy a watch while it's trending, wait at least 2 to 3 weeks. If it's still popular and the price hasn't dropped, wait another 2 to 3 weeks. As the trend cools down, the price starts to drop, sometimes by 30%, sometimes by 50 to 60%. But I want that watch right now. I completely understand that. When a person likes something, they want to buy it immediately. That's completely normal. But ask yourself a question. If this watch weren't trending and no one was talking about it, would I still buy it? If the answer is yes, good, that watch is genuinely right for you, but still wait a little, watch the price. If your answer isn't a clear yes, then you don't want the watch, you want the trend, and that will pass. Let's move on to our third rule, screen lies. And as the name suggests, this rule is about the screen lying to you. I may have briefly touched on this in the first rule, but it's important enough that I want to name it separately and talk about it on its own, because this mistake is far more widespread than you'd think. Every day, thousands of people make this mistake. They look at their phone like what they see, buy it, and once it's in their hands they say, this isn't the watch I saw. You see a watch on Facebook, Instagram, or an online store. The photo is perfect, the lighting is right, the angle is chosen, sometimes even the colours have been slightly adjusted. The watch shines, the dial looks appealing, every detail is clear. You look at that photo and think, this watch will look great on me. You buy it, you put it on, and something feels different. The colour isn't like it was on screen. The dial isn't as bright as you thought. Sometimes the watch is bigger than you expected, sometimes smaller. There's an invisible gap between what you saw on screen and what's on your wrist, and that's when regret sets in. The solution is very simple, but few people do it. Go to the store, put the watch on your own wrist, see it with your own eyes. A 30-minute trip to the store gives you something no photo, no video, no review can give you, the real feel. You feel the weight of the watch. You see its true colour. You check how it fits your wrist. You look at it in sunlight, under artificial light from different angles. And then you either say, yes, this is exactly the watch, or you say, no, it looked different on screen. Either way, you win. In the first case, you bought with confidence. In the second, you didn't lose your money. Let's move on to our fourth rule, the deal trap. And this rule might feel a bit familiar to you, but I can confidently say that paying special attention to this one can probably save you from losing the most money. You've probably all experienced this situation. You look at a watch, the price seems normal, but then suddenly you notice there's a discount. 40%, 50%, sometimes more. Your brain automatically kicks in. Don't miss this chance, buy it. You buy it. A day or two later you look at that same watch, and that initial excitement, that initial feeling is gone. The watch sits on the shelf, untouched. Why? Because you didn't buy that watch out of genuine desire. Strong marketing steered you, and you went along chasing the discount. Brands and sellers know that the human brain fears losing out. The thought, I might miss this chance, pushes people to buy hastily without thinking. That's why they use phrases like, only 3 left, today only, 48-hour discount. This isn't a coincidence, and it's a strategy. Ask yourself a question. If that watch weren't discounted, would you still buy it? If the answer is no, or I don't know, then you didn't buy the watch, you bought the discount. The discount doesn't stay with you, but the watch does, and that watch reminds you of that mistake every single day. And we arrive at our final rule. It's not an investment. And I know some of you are thinking right now, what does this rule have to do with wearing a watch? You're right. This rule doesn't directly improve how you wear a watch, but 20% of the people watching this video see a watch as an investment and are ready to spend big money on it. According to research, 98% of watches lose value the moment they're bought. It's like a car, the price drops the moment it leaves the store. So if you buy a watch today for $500 and try to sell it tomorrow, you won't find anyone willing to pay $500 for it. So buy a watch for enjoyment, not as an investment. Wear it, put it on, enjoy it. But let me also say, there's a remaining 2% of watches that, because of how rare the model is, gain value over the years. You can never buy those watches at list price, and finding them is a task in itself. Who knows? Maybe the watch you're wearing right now is part of that 2%. Maybe years from now it will be worth thousands, or even more. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. If these 5 rules were helpful to you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like me to look into watch models for investment purposes, let me know in the comments and I'll cover that topic in the next video. See you then.